Log amplifier, the related problem we have been seen, and some more applications are also there, guys. As I have explained, for the temperature compensating part, we have used that circuit of log amplifier and anti-log amplifier. No, in that what we got in the problem also we have seen that no, we can design the square root circuit or the divider circuit or the multiplier circuit we can also design by the help of the log amplifier, right? So by the combination of log and anti-log we can design all these applications. So in figure wise, if I will show that what kind of different circuit we can implement as the intermediate circuit, guys, can you think that in that log amplifier basic circuit was the log. Last two circuit, what type of circuit we have used? Just remind it and tell me what are the different circuits so we have used in that cases. Guys, can you tell? We have used adder or subtractor or then inverting or non-inverting amplifier, like that I'm asking. What can we design? That's what I'm asking. Suppose I want to design a circuit which will give rise to a multiplier function. Suppose the two inputs are in terms of x and y. Huh? So what are the different amplifier I have to use in that by the help of the op-amp? Can you imagine and say? I want to design a multiplier circuit. Are you getting my question, guys? Quickly you reply. If you know means say, if you don't know means you just say no ma'am, you just explain, I will explain that for you. It is very simple because we have learned this concept in the last two classes, that's why I am asking. Can you design a circuit which will give rise to the output as x dot y if the inputs are x and y?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me what are the circuit we have to use? What are the amplifiers?
Ma'am, log amplifier.
How many log amplifier, Vikas? Correct. Log amplifier is correct. How many log amplifier? I'll just take up to 12, 10 this topic. After that I have to start new topic. So be quick. How many log amplifier, Vikas? Obviously for x1 log amplifier, for y1 log amplifier, right? So if you
Yes, ma'am.
take 2 log amplifier, the output will come in terms of ln x and ln y, right?
Then one summer circuit, ma'am.
Very good. Yes, very good. Summer circuit. Yeah.
Then
Then
anti-lock
what
circuit.
I then anti-lock circuit. Yes, yes, yes. That is the requirement. Thank you, Vikas. Wait, guys, I'll show this thing for remaining class also. Then a homework for you to design the circuit which will give rise to at a time the x dot y function, x by y function and x square function. All the circuit we have learned, right? X by y we have seen in the example. Then we have seen the x square circuit also. Now we can have a look at the x dot y circuit, guys. As your friend said, what I said, x and y will be the input in the block diagram perspective. If you move, guys, see, x is the input for log amplifier x, then y is the input for log amplifier y. They will generate the output in terms of ln x and ln y. then we have to use the adder circuit or summer circuit. That's why the symbol is summation. Okay, then finally we will get ln x plus ln y. But how do we get the x dot y function, guys? How do we simplify it here? In exam, you have to elaborate this point. You simply cannot write that ln x plus ln y will be the input for the anti-log amplifier and we will get just x dot y. What is the simplification at this point, guys? Who will say ln x plus ln y has given to the anti-log amplifier? What should be the simplification?
XY.
XY. Ln XY only. Here XY we got na x dot y. This is not XY, x dot y, right? It is a multiplier. Right. So this is the block diagram point of view, because we know that log, what is the formula for x by y? How do we represent in terms of ln?
Ln x
ln
minus
x minus ln y.
minus ln y.
Similarly for multiply,
plus ln x plus ln y.
yeah, ln x plus ln y, ln a plus ln b, right? So here, guys, this is the block diagram representation, but when I want to present this in terms of circuit point of view, this is the circuit for the log amplifier and log amplifier y, then intermediate, or we have taken the input together from the x and y. It means we have added the input all together, then we have applied that. Guys, here one more thing is there in this circuit. Okay, watch this circuit and tell me what is the function of the intermediate circuit in between two log amplifier and the final anti-log amplifier. What type of circuit? How we have designed the adder circuit, and we have taken this configuration as the inverting summer, right? Guys, whether it is giving rise to the inverting summer or non-inverting summer, that is also important. Simply I cannot say that from the log amplifier I'll get ln x. It is minus ln x, no?
Yes, ma'am, minus ln x.
Yeah, to get that positive output, what kind of circuit we need?
Inverting one.
Inverting.
Yeah, inverting. That is the main point. That's why I have kept two different circuit for you. This is the circuit to get the basic idea, and this is the elaboration of your point. Exactly, practically what type of circuit you have to implement to make that negative term to become positive. Okay, so in this way only we have to implement the circuit, and the last one is the anti-log amplifier, this part. Okay, that's all about log amplifier, guys. And whatever the homework or questions are given in the notes, that's what I'm going to upload for you. You just practice all those things, right? And in the class also we have done some example. You just try once again. Okay, the new topic we are going to study today, guys, voltage regulator. This is part of your module 3, or we can say that end of the topic. So voltage regulator, guys, where we are exactly using voltage regulator, what is the purpose of the voltage regulator? In our day-to-day life, if we see that we need the regulated power supply. Till now we have seen that the effect of rectifier circuit, then transformer also we know the concept, filter concept also somewhat you know, then regulator, voltage regulator. If you see your power banks or the mobile charger or the laptop adapters, okay, all generates the regulated output. But in sometimes you might have seen that the DC signs, you are thinking that this is the source of the DC power supply. Okay, source. But this is not exactly the source of the DC power supply, guys. The main supply only, main power supply only will give rise to us the DC sources or DC power. But how do we get that constant output? So in our main supply, these are the AC sources, right? It is up to 240 volt as per our Indian power ratings. So we need the lowest input for some electronics device operation. So how do we control that such a high voltage, power supply voltage or main AC supply voltage uh, to give rise to some 12 volt operation or 5 volt operation, or suppose some 12 to 30 volt of operation. How do we get that such kind of reduction? That too we need a constant or uninterrupted input of this voltage for some other application. How do we reduce this voltage? So for this sake, guys, we need to go for different circuitry. Okay, what are the different circuitry we are going to get? That is different thing, but mostly we will get this constant interpretation of the output or the constantly bucking of the output. The output we are getting the lower voltage or we need in the lower form, that's why we need to use the voltage regulator. It should give a constant DC voltage, okay, and it is always lower than the main AC supply voltage. So how do we get that, guys? What are the circuitry involved in that voltage regulator? That is very, very important. So first a little bit intro only I just want to go. So if you see what is our main power supply? Our main power supply is up to this thing, okay. So what are the process involved to get a regulated constant lower output voltage in terms of 5 volt DC? So transformer, rectifier we have been studied. It is not fully capable of providing the DC output voltage. In half wave we have seen that half of the cycle was rectified, but we have to refer the full wave only. This will like this only, right? Then smoothing circuit is by filter, guys, which will be the next topic. In 5th module we will study this. Then the today's topic is coming regulator. So exactly what do we get at this point? So guys, transformer may be your step up, step down. So it will intake the AC input voltage. Then by the function of the transformer, that will be given to the rectifier circuit, and in this rectifier circuit we have seen that full wave rectifier. Guys, here it has been given a bridge type rectifier by the help of the diode only, but we have the more advanced one by the help of the op-amp. This is the basic rectifier just by the help of the diode, but that is not that much of efficient. So what we are using? We are using the rectifier circuit along with the op-amp IC 741. Okay, basic thing we have been learned, but advanced ICs are also available. Then come to the point, the output of the rectifier is like this, and the rectifiers are available in these shapes, okay, in your practical cases or in market. Then for the smoothing purpose we have to use the filter, guys. So filters, mostly we are using the capacitor and the resistor combination, but in normally we will say means just a capacitor will function out the smoothing operation, but in detail by the help of the op-amp we can get more smoothingness to the applied input voltage to the circuit, and it will generate more smoothing output. Okay, these are the things we will see later. Now suppose the feeded input is towards the capacitor will gives rise to this type of smoothing output. After the filter section, it is still some ripple is there. Okay, it is not still a constant DC. We need this still constant DC with a regulated one. Regulated one means whatever the change in the input, the output should be always constant irrespective of the change of the input supply voltage, right? So here what are the external device we are going to use to make this ripple to be cancelled or to be smooth out? So here, guys, now the part is coming for the regulator. Practically this will look like this. If you are physically able to use this, we may give you in the lab, or we are giving this type of regulator for the lab experiment, but now we are virtually present, no, so you have to just listen about the concept only. So after the filter circuit, to get the constant or regulated DC output, we have to use this regulator after the filter circuit, right? So 3 inputs are there, means 3 ports are there, input, output and common port. Okay, so now we have to focus upon this part, because this part is very important to generate this output, a regulated output, right? So the voltage regulator ICs are available with the fixed values of 5, 12 and 15 volt, or the variable output voltages. Okay, up to 30 volt also you can design it. Now, which device we can use to get this regulated output voltage, guys? We are going to take the help of the Zener diode. Okay, because this Zener diode property, this will help us, that Zener breakdown voltage will help us to get a regulated output voltage Vz, and this we may get along with the combination of resistor to limit the current. We have to select one reference voltage at this point, or we have to generate a reference voltage V reference. This two combination, resistor plus Zener diode, will give rise a reference voltage, and what we are going to do with this reference voltage we may see later. So in other words, this part along with the op-amp will give rise to us a fixed output voltage. This is the thing, guys. This property now we are going to use. But remember that without this part we cannot use, or we cannot generate the regulated output. So what is the function of these two part in the design of regulator? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, guys, the regulators are available in two types, guys. One is line regulator, another one is load regulator. In line regulator, the output voltage from the regulator circuit will vary with respect to the change in the AC input voltage, okay, or the power supply voltage. And the rule at here, or the line regulation, it says irrespective of the change of the AC input voltage, the output is almost constant. Okay, so what should be the line regulation formula? It is the change in the output voltage to the change in input voltage into 100%. This formula will use for line regulation. Similarly, for load regulation, two things are available, right? Voltage regulation, line and load. When we are calling this as load regulation, at that time, guys, we have to see that the change of the load current, okay, the applied load current or the circuitry variation in the load current should not affect your generated input voltage from the voltage regulator, or we can say the generated output voltage from the voltage regulator. That should be constant, even though we are getting change of the load resistor value, so that our load current will get changed, but still we may get the constant output. For that sake, guys, this is the load regulation formula. To the load regulation can be written as the difference in between no load to the full load condition, and the ratio in between this difference value to the full load condition will give rise to us the load regulation value. Okay, these are the two things we are using to find out the voltage regulation. Then what are the different type of regulators are available? These are the two concepts we use, line and load regulation. And now the types are, first thing, the linear regulator, another one the switching regulator. Actually linear one, the basic thing to understand the concept of switching regulator. In the switching, guys, directly we are using the ICs. We are not using the separate op-amp or the transistor or resistor or anything. We are using only in terms of linear regulator only. But the advanced form is switching regulator. It is directly compact or manufactured by using the integrated circuit format only. So switching regulator, directly it shows the IC regulators only. Directly ICs are available for this. But to understand the concept, I'll just explain you the concept of linear regulator, guys, because if you understand this concept, switching regulators or IC regulators are not difficult to understand. Same concept has been used, but in terms of IC packaging only. Okay, the first one is the series regulator, second one is the shunt regulator. So this is the basic block diagram for the series regulator. Series regulator, what it will do? V, it is in series with the applied input voltage. Generally, the circuit parts, what are the circuit parts we are going to use in between this series regulator that will function out to generate the P output voltage. Okay. Now let's see in this series regulator what are the internal circuitry block diagram. First, in the block diagram, you have to remember, guys, what are the parts of the regulator circuit: control element, main important thing, reference voltage, error detector circuit, and sample circuit. These four things are the part of the series regulator circuit, and I can say that these are also the part of the shunt regulator circuit. There is no change, just the position of the control element only we are going to change with respect to the applied input voltage. But let's see the first case of the series regulator type. Okay, just remember this part. What are the important part? Control element, reference voltage, error detector, sample circuit. These four things only we are going to manipulate, guys, which will generate the regulated output. Yeah, let's have a look. So now can you please say, as I said, control element represents which circuit or which device at here? The error detector circuit represents which device at here? The reference voltage section here, reference voltage represents which part at here? And the sample circuit represents what are the circuit component. Can you say by watching the circuit? And also write down it in your copy. What is the element of control element, guys? The means in that block diagram I shown you na control element. What are the part, which circuit we have used or which device we have used in that control element? A transistor. Guys, control element, error detector circuit, reference voltage circuit, and sample circuit. Correct? Yes or no? At least you tell.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So these are the components we are using to build the series voltage regulator along with the op-amp. Now, how do we understand the circuit concept? Guys, if you see the transistor base is connected to the output of the op-amp. Now this transistor is connected in series with your load register. Okay, here that part is not run, but it is connected in series with your load register. Okay, this part is missing, but you have to imagine that only. That's how we are calling this, because the control element is in series with the load register part. We are calling this as voltage series regulator. Now let's understand the circuit component. Guys, we are going to apply the input voltage. As per that our output will be decided. Suppose for some reason this output voltage is reducing or decreasing. So what will happen? That decreasing effect will be there at this point of the sample circuit. This sample circuit is nothing but a voltage divider or potential divider circuit. So whatever be the reduce in this voltage, that voltage will be applied to the negative input or inverting input of op-amp. Okay. So this is the applied input 1 to the op-amp. Now what is the second end of the op-amp? The second end is the non-inverting input of the op-amp. So where it is getting the source? It is getting the input from the Zener diode and the resistor combination. This is the regulated part, and whatever the voltage they are generating, that is called as reference voltage. Why we are calling reference voltage, guys? Later I'll come to this point. But presently you remember this reference voltage. This is the circuitry to generate the reference voltage towards the non-inverting input of the op-amp. So where I was, guys, I was at this point. Suppose for some reason the output voltage of the transistor from here it is get reduced. Okay, and we are getting a decreased voltage, but this reference voltage is applied to the positive input, and we know that this is positive voltage, means this must be greater than this one negative voltage, right? Whatever be the value we are getting at here as the input, this will always give negative value only. And Even though it is 1 volt or 0.1 volt also, because of the positive nature of the input, always this input is greater than this. So what will be the case? This Zener diode will help till this negative voltage will become equivalent to this reference voltage. This Zener diode will keep on working up to the time till it is balancing the input voltage, and so that when we are calling, this voltage will be very less than or a little amount of less than, then it will generate an error output voltage. Okay, but this is the work of the Zener diode to balance this mismatch in the input, and when the balance will be done, it will generate the balance output, means errorless output, and again that errorless output will make the transistor Q1 to generate a constant regulated output. This is the working principle of the series regulator. Okay, got it guys? So irrespective of the change in the input voltage, whatever the change, okay, this cannot be affect your output voltage, because it will be balanced out at this V reference voltage, and by the help of the op-amp concept it will be balanced out. So here we may get a balanced or enhanced output, so that it will enhance the output also, or it will help the output to generate a constant output even though there is a fluctuation in the applied input voltage. Okay, so this is the concept about the series regulator. Now I will explain the shunt regulator. After that I'll ask you for the doubt. Then guys, the regulator output. Suppose in this circuit, overally if I will say that V out you want to write, what should be the equation for the V out guys? Because we have taken R2 is RF and R3 is Rin. Okay, and here V in is the V reference voltage. So what will be the V naught equation at here? It is a type of non-inverting op-amp, because this only decide this part. This will try to make the balance with this part. Okay, so this is a type of non-inverting op-amp only at this time, because the reference voltage where it is connected, that should be considered as the input towards the op-amp. So tell me the equation for this guys. 1 plus Rf by R1 into V in. So tell me in terms of this, V out equal to 1 plus guys, be quick.
Plus R2
by
R3 into Vn.
V in or V reference? V in
Both
is V
are-
reference, no?
Yes,
V ref. Yes, we may get the output like this. That's what it has shown at here. Now come to the shunt regulator part guys. I'm just keeping that short circuit overload protection condition. You just go through the theory. You can easily understand that. Now you come to the point of basic linear shunt regulator. So now you just look at the block diagram where the position of the shunt regulator, how it is situated in the block diagram or the schematic diagram point of view. So here see, it is now present not in series with the output. Okay, so where it is situated and what is the position of that part? It is generating in a shunt position guys. Remaining parts of the circuit are similar. Now if I will show the circuitry of that, see how the position of the transistor now. The transistor Q1 is in shunt with your load resistor RL. So how do we understand the circuit concept? The same thing we can understand. What is the fluctuation in the output? How does the amplifier and transistor will be helpful to control that? Let's see. Now look at the thing. The V reference voltage is applied at the inverting input of op-amp, not at the non-inverting input of op-amp. So it is applied at the inverting input. So whatever the inverting thing, inverting means this will be also inverted guys. Yes or no? But now see, the voltage from this sample circuit is applied at the non-inverting input. So which part is higher at here? Obviously, always the positive part will be higher. So we need not to bother about the negative input voltage. So how the circuit will be balanced out? The concept is same thing. If there is a fluctuation at the output voltage, the same voltage will be conveyed to calculate the voltage at this reference voltage point. Now this reference not reference voltage guys, this is intermediate voltage, because this is voltage divider circuitry. So this intermediate voltage will be applied to the non-inverting input of op-amp. Now this part is non-inverted, means positive, and this part is negative. So as we know that this part is higher than this part, this is not bother about the change in this negative input voltage, because this is always high. So if this is high guys, so it is very clear that the emitter part is grounded. Now which voltage will control the output? The collector voltage VC will control the output. Okay, because current IE is grounded. Only which current is existing? This is we are getting IC, no? So because this part is positive, this will balance out any negative effect in the output of the op-amp, and so that this will control the collector current, and so the voltage VC will be always regulated, and so the output voltage. This is the concept of the shunt regulator. Irrespective of the change in the input, because of the VC, it will get be a regulated one. Okay, this is the concept about the shunt regulator. And here, yeah, that's all. Series and shunt regulator operation is over. Then we will move to the switching part. Before moving to the switching part, if you have any doubt, you may ask me. If you don't have any doubt, I'll move to the switching circuit concept. Do you have any doubt? Guys, if you are clear about the PNP and NPN transistor, whatever mode, it doesn't matter. If you know the common emitter, common base, common collector, that point of view, if you are very clear, you can easily understand the voltage regulator concept. This is nothing but your base is connected to the output of the op-amp, and which current will govern that? Here IE will govern that, because IE is connected to the V out, but in the shunt one, IC or VC will govern out. That's the only matter. Okay. Do you have any doubt? Regarding the circuit? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Okay, no, fine. Then I'll come to the switching one, guys. The circuit, if once I will show, that is enough for you. Where is that part? Yeah, switching regulator are nothing but the IC regulator. Directly, guys, step up. If this voltage inverting one, you just have a look by your own. Now come to the IC regulator, guys. In this part, will tell you everything. Whatever the thing we have seen in the linear regulator, now that are encapsulated in the form of an IC. Okay, you can see from the diagram itself, it contains the IC packaging, but internal circuitry will remain same. This is suppose the ground part. Guys, what I may expect, which part is grounded? Can you imagine and say which device will be at here exactly? Can you say which device is at here exactly? If you see the IC regulator part.
Transistor.
Yes, transistor. And this part is grounded, right? So similarly, guys, now suppose I am telling you I may get a regulated output voltage, I may get a regulated output voltage, whether it is series type or shunt type. Actually, what is the additional circuit component I have to use to get my desired output voltage? That part only I'll show you. So these are different IC number, and here the adjustable positive linear voltage regulator, guys. So here you can see that some additional component we are using, the capacitor additionally we are using, and the same simple circuit. What I am doing, the second end of the register I am making this as variable. Okay, this is a type of potentiometer. Whatever my desired output, I will change the position of that potentiometer to get the desired output voltage. Okay, you know the presence of capacitor, what it will do, how does it will help to make the charging of the output voltage from the op-amp or IC port. That's why we have used to control it. Okay, to provide you a filter part or smoothing part. Okay, and this part, this variable register is important at here to design an adjustable voltage regulator. Okay, so here that's why it has been written as the range provided by this adjustable voltage regulator is from 1.2 volt to 37 volt. Okay, and it depends upon what type of register value you are using for the design purpose. So here LM317 is the 3-terminal adjustable voltage regulator. Mostly we are using. This is the basic adjustable voltage regulator and very popular also. In most of the laboratory also we are using LM317. So now one example I'll show you. This is the basic internal circuitry of LM317. So after taking LM317, if you take externally to check your output, how much output you need, so it is adjusted at this point. These are the value provided at here to give a 25 volt of output by using LM317 with R1 240, and this one you have to check, guys. This was actually one lab experiment. Here you have to check how much adjust you have to put at here this resistance value, so that it will give rise to 25 volt output for the input of 28 volt. Some other constants are also there, that also you have to keep in your mind. So let's see that part, guys. Yeah, suppose another one is there, the same LM317. You can solve this equation like this. Here the equation for the V0 is given because VR value, this variable register, this VR reference voltage, and V pot is the potentiometer voltage. So V0 is nothing but the voltage across this VR, okay, and this potentiometer voltage. So combination of this. So how do we get the VR is VR only as in the form of the reference register voltage. Then V potentiometer voltage is nothing but V equal to IR we are writing, guys, but here I in terms of IR1 plus IQ, this both the part approaching towards this end. So the current is the combination of this one, IR1 plus IQ. Then R2, across which register we are calculating with R2. So if you solve this part, V0 is nothing but 1 plus R2 by R1, which is RF by R1 only, or RF by RN into VR plus R2 into IQ. This equation you have to remember. So now suppose one example I am going to show you. Design an adjustable positive voltage regulator for LM317 to gives rise to an output of 4 volt to 12 volt range, and the output current should be 1 ampere. This is I0 means representation of your current. Because of the text only it is looking like this. So what are the things? Let's see the solution, guys. I'll upload the theory part, whole theory part for this topic in the voltage regulator section along with the PPT. So don't worry about the notes and all. So let's have a look. The data given for the adjustable current. This is the datasheet value for the LM317. The adjustable current is 100 microamp. Guys, if it is not given to you, means you have to consider this is okay. But mostly we are providing the data while calculation. If not so, means you just consider this value. Then reference voltage is also defined at here, because this is the datasheet value only we have taken. R1 is fixed at 240 ohm, and here V reference is 1.25 volt. Any other data are given? No, just it has been mentioned that LM317, guys, So whatever the value I am showing it to you, no, all are data sheet value only. It is pre-available for you. So finally you have to write only the formula. Now you can ask me, ma'am, where is that IQ and where is that IADJ? IQ is nothing but that adjustable current only, guys. So here it has been represented as IQ in terms of ADJ. So if you know all the data, you just calculate this for the 4 volt, apply the formula and get the answer. So here what we are getting, guys, the calculation will show that if you solve this part for the unknown value of R2, we are getting this one. You have to use R2 value as 0.52 kilo ohm to get the output voltage of 4 volt. Okay. Then similarly for 12 volt you have to solve that, guys. So any variation you are watching, anything, or it is clear for you? So what are the R2 value? Where is the presence of R2? This potentiometer, guys. So if I want 4 volt, I have to use that value of R2. If I want 12 volt, I have to use that value of R2. So from this example, it can be seen that in the adjustable voltage regulator, just we need to predict the value of the R2 so that we can get our desired adjustable output voltage. So here what are the things you have to remember? For LM317, IQ or IADJ value, then V reference value, then R1. These are fixed values, guys. Suppose in case we are changing, then the output will be as per our given data only. Is there any doubt? Guys, do you have any doubt for this example?
No.
Okay. Then see another thing, summary and all, you just go, because we can design the step up, step down, or in nowadays we are using boost up and buck up type of voltage regulator. So as per our variable resistor only we can design all this thing. Now this is the homework question for you guys. If you want, you can take the screenshot, because I have not uploaded this PPT yet. If you want, you may take the screenshot to solve the question. In remaining classes, I'll check this answer, but this is one important question I have given for you. You just be practice this. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Those who are present for this class, you just type yes in the chat box.